Hello, friends. Welcome to Woke Wednesday. Cracking my knuckles, drinking coffee. Hi, peeps. Hello. Welcome to Woke Wednesday. How is everybody today? You know the drill. Tell me in an emoji how you are feeling so far on this good Wednesday. If you are in New York, it's rainy as fuck. Hi, Andrew. And I am tired. Does the rain make anybody else tired? I'm fucking exhausted. Yay! The model journalist. Welcome. To your first Woke Wednesday. Hello. Yes. So friends, in an emoji, tell me, hi Sada, how you are feeling this week thus far. Oh, I love this. I'm getting purple hearts, thumbs ups. Okay, there's a sad face or a confused face. What would my emoji be? What would my emoji be? I'm tired. I am frustrated. Hello, Becca. I am, I don't know. I'm working on my fitness, friends. I'm trying to get this summer body together in the next couple of weeks, as we head into summer. That's distracting me from the bullshit that's happening in America. I love these emojis. Keep them coming in. Welcome, good folks, to Woke Wednesday. Okay, so let's get into it because this week is just filled with beyond fuckery. Thank you, Gina. Is filled with beyond fuckery. So let's start off with the Facebook news that broke this morning. So here we go. Facebook had the Facebook board, which by the way is made up of people from Facebook, which are still beholden to Mark Zuckerberg, have decided to uphold the ban on Donald Trump. Now, what they've done is essentially punt this decision back to Mark Zuckerberg, back to the whole of Facebook, for them to now make a decision 6 months down the road as to whether or not Donald Trump should be able to return to Facebook and Instagram. Now, the Republican Party is going on a full-on assault against big tech because, they think that it goes against our democracy somehow for this industry that they have never wanted to regulate, never found a way to regulate, for them to make the decisions about who and who cannot be on their platforms. Here's the thing, though, that the decision was made pretty much definitively for Twitter by Jack Dorsey when he said, this motherfucker is gone. We're not having him on this site anymore post the insurrection. So why Facebook is so confused about whether or not Donald Trump, who is essentially a known domestic terrorist in the United States, because you have to understand that it's been, folks, tomorrow is the 4-month anniversary of the insurrection that we have done nothing about in Congress, by the way. Absolutely fucking nothing. There have been no guardrails that have put in. There have been no fucking decisions that have been made. Nothing has been done. Except for the fact that Liz Cheney, right? Congresswoman Liz Cheney, the third ranking Republican in the House, is going to be voted out of leadership as soon as next week. Why? Because she is the sole person who keeps fucking talking about the insurrection and keeps talking about the fact that Donald Trump lost the election. So I'm confused about how this man, the former disgraced president of the United States, can cause the deaths of over 500,000 Americans with his denial of COVID-19, referring to it as a hoax, telling people that they should inject bleach, right? Telling people that they should inject light, telling people not to wear masks because, toxic masculinity. If you have a thin piece of cloth over your mouth, then all of a sudden your dick doesn't work. So, you have all of those things on top of 5 people that died at the Capitol building, and then the list goes on. So confused as to how, if any of one of us did any one of those things, or a quarter of those things, a fraction of those things, do you think that you would be allowed back on Facebook? So let's stop pretending that Donald Trump is like a normal person. And let's stop pretending that normal rules apply to him because they fucking don't, right? He is an actual menace to society. I had an interesting conversation that'll go up tomorrow with my friend, MSNBC legal analyst and the host of Justice Matters on YouTube, Glenn Kirshner. This interview will go up tomorrow, but the reality is this. He said, you know, we talk about terrorism, we talk about Al-Qaeda, we talk about ISIS. You know who never made it inside of the Capitol building and threatened the lives of members of Congress? Al-Qaeda. Do you know who actually did make it inside the Capitol building, threatened the lives of Congress people, and managed to kill 5 people? Donald Trump's MAGA supporters. So you tell me who is the enemy of the state. You tell me who is the national security threat. Right? We want to put all of our resources into seeking out these outside terrorists, but we want to do absolutely nothing about the rise of white nationalism in the United States and the fact that 4 months ago, folks, they tried to overthrow the fucking government. If they had succeeded, where the fuck do you think we would all be right now? So I'm so confused that Liz Cheney, her father lied about weapons of mass destruction and caused a war that cost the United States trillions of dollars and thousands of lives, is now not Republican enough. Think about that. Think about how far gone you have to be as a Republican to oust the Cheneys and boo Mitt Romney in his own home state because you refuse to carry the lie that Donald Trump won the election and that the insurrection didn't actually happen. These fucking people are batshit crazy. And I continue to talk about this on Woke AF Daily every single day. You guys think that we hit the pause button on America's descent into authoritarianism. You think that just because we had a historic turnout in this past 2020 election, that all of a sudden our, flirting with fascism is somehow gone. It's not. We didn't hit pause. We are doing a slow fucking roll because Republicans are doubling and tripling down on their bullshit. Folks, right now, we have over 300 pieces of legislation to suppress the vote that has been created off of a fucking lie about the election being stolen. Right now, you have in Texas multiple companies coming out against now their voter suppression law, because you see how it was successful in Georgia, it was successful last week in Florida, and now the dominoes are falling, right? We have right now 35 states. 35 states are run by Republicans in this country. And you think that what we saw in Georgia with their massive voter suppression isn't going to be a domino effect for the rest of the country? You think that somehow 2022, when we are headed to midterms, that somehow we're gonna all be able to vote and it's gonna be easy and okay? No, it's fucking not. Pay attention to what the fuck they are doing. Don't pay attention to Donald Trump and his statements that he's writing in MySpace on some type of fucking blog that he wants to create because ain't nobody can hear him right now. Pay attention to what those that are still wielding power are doing. And right now, they are kissing the ring of Donald Trump. They are rolling out voter suppression because they know this, folks. They have no agenda that the American people actually want. Do you know that in the last election, Democrats in the House received 1.5 million more votes? But the margin of our victory is so fucking slim? Do you know that in the presidential election, in the popular vote, 7 million more votes, but the margin was so slim? They know this, folks. That's why they're working to create an apartheid system here. Because if they can codify, right, if they can codify discrimination into law, then we are South Africa. We are fucking Nazi Germany. That's what America looks like. That's what they are doing. So while I am grateful for the fact that Biden and Harris are in the White House, and right now for this little bit of time, we have a majority, the fact is that if the next piece of legislation that hits Biden's desk isn't the John Lewis Voters' Right Act, we're fucked. We are fucked. That's say, if that is not the next piece of legislation, because understand what we have to, what we are up against. Barack Obama had 2 solid years. 2 solid years Barack Obama was given before America decided, oh no, let's put Republicans back in charge again, right? What happened? A series of executive orders because he wasn't even able to pass any legislation. That is the same exact setup that Biden and Harris are getting ready to face if we do not change the Voting Rights Act, if we do not expand voting rights. You see what the fuck these people are up to and what they are doing, and it's going to get worse. All right, so let's talk now about that piece of shit, William Barr. So a second federal judge has come out this week to remind the American people what the fuck y'all should have already known. That Bill Barr lied about the contents of the Mueller report to the American people, and he lied to fucking Congress. Now, you are not just supposed to get a slap on the wrist for lying to Congress, right? Or lying to the American people. But guess where we are with Democrats taking action on this lying-ass, criminal-ass administration? Fucking nowhere. We're nowhere here. So this is a second federal judge to say this, and I want to know, Department of Justice, I understand, Merrick Garland, you've only been in power in your position as a U.S. Attorney General for 30 days. I understand that. But here's the thing. If we do not work to hold that criminal-ass Trump administration accountable for what they have done, then what comes in its place will be worse. You know what looks worse than Donald Trump? Let me tell you. Someone who actually knows how government works. Someone who is just as cruel, just as racist, just as misogynist, right? But is politically savvy and will surround themselves with people who are politically savvy. That's what's worse than Donald Trump. Someone who's actually fucking smart, right? So if we do not fix this shit now and signal to the rest of people who are like Barr and Trump and Mike Flynn and the fucking rest of them that you can go to jail, then what do you think is going to happen? When a child, right, does something bad and you decide they don't need to be punished, they know what they did, and then they do something worse again, who is the one that is at fault? The child for continuing to see how fucking far they can go, or the adult that didn't take action to correct wrong behavior? It's really not that fucking hard. But here in America, apparently to hold rich, white, powerful men accountable for anything, well, you know, we know how that goes. So here we are with the Liz Cheney vote coming, right? Republicans have signaled to the world that they believe this is their platform, right? Now, they didn't offer one during the summer of 2020 leading into the election, but let me tell you what their platform actually is. They are pro-racism. They are pro-insurrection. They are anti-government. They are anti the poor. They are anti-LGBTQ, because you see what the fuck is happening in Florida and in other states by targeting transgender children so that they can't play sports. And, oh, Lord, let me put down this book for a second, because I never talk about her, but let me talk about her right now. Caitlyn Jenner has decided that she's going to run for governor of California. And we know Caitlyn Jenner is a transgender woman. When asked about whether or not transgender girls should be able to play sports on the teams that coincide with their gender identity, she said no. Let me tell you folks, not all folk who say that they are LGBTQ are actually your fucking people, right? That bitch is still operating with her white privilege, with her male privilege, with her understanding that it was okay for her to play sports, for her to do the most, but then for young children, it's not, right? When she came out and said that she had a desire that, all about being a woman was for her playing dress up, disregarding the fact that Black trans women die and are murdered, are killed at unprecedented rates, but for her, coming out as trans was what? Lipstick and dresses and all of the, folks, let me tell you something. Just because somebody says that they are part of the LGBTQ community does not mean that they are supportive of our people. So just stop wanting to connect with folks and grab everybody into the community as if they are good people. They are not. Caitlyn Jenner would be a fucking disaster for California. She's a Republican, a transgender woman Republican in America right the fuck now who supported Donald Trump. Dear God, I don't know what she sees, what she believes, but I know that she ain't for us. So I am not for her. And that has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that California, wake the fuck up. I know that you guys are calling in, you want to call back Gavin Newsom's win and Republicans want to go all gangbusters in California. She ain't the one, okay? Caitlyn Jenner, she is not the fucking one, okay? Also, probably, a little bit racist. So here we are with that fact. Now, I want to talk about this, right? I want to talk about the fact that we're but a couple of months, folks, away from midterm elections. I know that we are all wrapped up in 2021 and, still reeling from the trauma of 2020. But the reality is this. If we don't get our shit together as a party, meaning if we don't talk about Republicans and show them for who they are, which is not an actual political party, they are the White Citizens Council. They are the KKK. They are domestic terrorists. When we are at a place, when we have held no one accountable for their actions, we know that for that insurrection, the call came from inside the fucking house. And Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz, Marjorie Greene Taylor, Laura Boebert, they all still have their fucking jobs. No one is talking about this anymore. We keep getting further and further away. On Monday, folks, 3 more people were arrested and charged with federal crimes for their involvement in the insurrection. But 4 months later, where are we talking about this in the news? That people in America tried to fucking overthrow the government. How is this not still a story? I have no idea. But what troubles me is that it's not just not a story on the Republican side. Democrats have ceased talking about this because for whatever fucking reason, these people believe that they can't walk and chew gum at the same time. That we can't both pass the American Rescues Plan, right, which is actually working and putting money back in the pockets of the American people, right? That we can't do that and also hold criminals accountable. I have said time and time again, why haven't we checked the phone records of the folks that were in the chamber that day? Why is it that it is okay to pull the phone records and pull things, right, in terms of tech that we can use against Black Lives Matter protesters, right, in order to be able to round up those folks with facial recognition, this, that, and the other thing. But when it comes to using the Patriot Act, not just to spy on American people, which we gave carte blanche to in the Bush administration following 9/11, why weren't we using that as a means to figure out who was in communication with the thousands of people that broke into our Capitol building and smeared feces all over the wall and killed 5 people? I'm just confused. I'm confused by why these people still have their job. Accordingly to the FBI and the intelligence community, 400 arrests have been made. But mind you, just again, let me just say this just one more time for good measure. If they were Black, you fill in the fucking blank. And you tell me if 4 months later, we would still be looking for these motherfuckers. Tell me, right? 4 months after the insurrection, we're still arresting people, but they have been on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and giving interviews and doing the most and buying more guns, right? But we're still looking for these people because apparently it's very hard to find white insurrectionists in a white supremacist system that is built to protect them, right? Let's be real about why this is taking so long and why it looks so fucking different. Speaking of white supremacists, with the few minutes that I have left, Derek Chauvin's lawyers yesterday presented a motion to Judge Cahill that they want a new trial, right? That they want a new trial because they feel like the jury was influenced, right, by the outside, that one of the jurors who was an alternate was found on social media wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. So now this alternate somehow poisoned the pool, and they want a new trial. Now, I've asked my lawyer friends, I am not an attorney, I just play one on social media, but I've asked them, this is normal, right? This is normal. Your defense attorneys would, of course, try and motion to try and get you an appeal. Let me tell you why this is disturbing to me. You need to let fucking sleeping dogs lie, right? And that motherfucker is a dog that needs to lie underneath a prison cell. Right now, he is in solitary confinement 23 hours a day. That motherfucker should be there 24 hours a day with the lights off, music blasting. Like, I want torture. I want him to experience a type of torture that he provided for George Floyd's last 9 minutes. That's what the fuck I want, right? So his attorneys are appealing. My feeling is that at some point, it's going to work. Now, their defense was bullshit because we all saw the fucking video, right? We all saw a man lose his life and plea for his life and plea for his dead mother. But somehow they think that this man deserves a trial. Like, the fact, folks, that in America, we were all collectively holding our breath for a conviction of a video that we all watched, of a murder we all saw take place, tells you where our justice system is in America, right? So I think it is disgusting. I don't care if it's their right or not. I think it's disgusting and offensive, not only to the Black community, but to George Floyd's family, right? For this motion to even be heard, to be seen. There's that. Then, lastly, with my last few minutes, the fucking 1619 Project, okay? And the Republicans' desire to cancel common sense, to cancel history, to uphold white supremacy using our public education system. What you have to understand is, and what I say all the time on Woke AF, our public education system in these United States is the biggest upholder of white supremacy, right? Our public education curriculum dictates who is important, who is a leader, and who is not. Whose history fucking matters and whose doesn't. The Republicans have an issue with the 1619 Project because, for the first time, history is not being denoted through the eyes of white men, right? And so instead of us asking about this bullshit, about whether or not there is some necessary reason to be against race theory, right? Like the understanding of racism in this country and systematic oppression, that instead of asking those questions, which are dumb, the question that we should be asking is, why are you so afraid? Why are you so afraid of American children learning the truth about this country? Why is it that you feel that any understanding of our history that is outside of the white gaze is somehow going to turn them against this country? You are currently telling on your fucking self with your objection to the 1619 Project, right? Because what you know to be true is that our K through 12 education system is nothing more than fucking propaganda for American exceptionalists, which is bullshit, right? Where is America exceptional? I'm doing a study right now, doing work with one of my clients on Black maternal mortality rate, right? Black women in this country are dying 1.5 times more so in childbirth in an industrialized nation than any other group. right? So where is American exceptionalism there as it pertains to the health of Black mothers and Black women? And I say this as we head into Mother's Day, that 1 in 4 Black women that go in to deliver in this country die. They're not delivering in some far off developing nation. No, they are delivering here in fucking New York and dying. But somehow America is exceptional? We have food lines that President Biden talked about in his joint session address, food lines in this country that are wrapped around for miles. Where is America exceptional then? You have a Republican Party that doesn't want to raise taxes on the wealthy in order to pay for very basic shit. Right? Very basic shit. Pay your fucking fair share. But you want to talk about American exceptionalism? Again, tell me where. We have a party that didn't clap to end child poverty, that didn't clap for clean water. We know exactly what Republicans are fitting to do if they get back into power, folks. So tell me why, again, we are not talking about them as what they are, which are terrorists. They are domestic terrorists. And given the reins of power, again, they will destroy this country. Think about it this way. The Tucker Carlsons of the world, which, by the way, y'all, if you did not see Joy Reid assassinate that motherfucker on television this week, I tell you, it is worth your fucking 4.5 minutes to go and watch her assassinate him, eviscerate him, okay? Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, all of them, you know all of them got vaccinated, right? Like, you know that they were all first in line. Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Kevin McCarthy, all of those Republicans got vaccinated from the jump. But 40% of their fucking stupid ass flock refuses to get vaccinated. And you know what the New York Times reported this week and the CDC? We're never going to reach herd immunity in this country. Because in order to have herd immunity against COVID-19, 70% of the population needs to get vaccinated. And we have 40% that refuses based on a lie. They would rather inject fucking bleach and light than go and get a vaccination. And then you have fucking motherfuckers talking about, I don't know what's in the vaccination. Do you know what the fuck is in a McNugget? That didn't stop you from fucking eating it, right? Do you know what the fuck is in orange soda? No, you don't. Didn't stop you from drinking it either, right? So these people come up with these things about, oh, well, we don't know what's in it. Do you know what the fuck is in Sudafed or NyQuil? No, doesn't stop you from taking it. And here's the kicker, folks. 150 million Americans have been vaccinated. Not a single one has died from the vaccination, but 598,000 Americans have died from COVID-19. You make the call, right? So you are allowing the Tucker Carlsons of the world to dictate science to you when they don't in fact believe in it, right? You are allowing folks who have no degrees in science, in health, in medicine, in public safety to dictate to you what you're going to put into your body, but you're going to believe them, right? The people that are attacking Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head, those are your sources of information? Miss me with the bullshit. Here's the thing. 40% of those motherfuckers are going to ensure that we have COVID for decades to come. 70% of the population needs to be vaccinated. If you have not gotten vaccinated, dear friends, go and get vaccinated. CVS has just announced that you can do it as a walk-in, right? Everyone now lives within 5 to 10 miles of a place that you can get vaccinated. If you are still in conversation with your family and friends about vaccinations, continue beating the fucking drum, right? Again, 150 million Americans have been vaccinated, not a single fucking death. But 598,000 Americans are dead because of COVID-19. And frankly, because of Donald fucking Trump and his genocide that was allowed to happen. And here is the thing that gets me as I wrap out. Here's the thing that gets me. Do you know the biggest penalty that Donald Trump is facing right now for having caused an insurrection, for having killed over 500,000 Americans? He is getting the penalty that children in the early 2000s got. He's being kicked off of Facebook. He's being sent to his room without social media. That's the biggest penalty Donald Trump is paying to date for nearly destroying our democracy and killing a bunch of Americans. I swear to God, whiteness, it really is a motherfucker, isn't it? Rich, white, male. That's all you need. And you get no penalties whatsoever. Folks, if you want to hear more woke information, then hit me up at patreon.com/wokeaf. $5 a month gets you 5 shows every week, 5 one-hour shows every week with me, yours truly, and some of my fantastic guests that I talk to each and every week that keep us sane, keep us together, and keep us conscious as to what is going on. Folks, we cannot continue to live like political ostriches. I know that the political climate is exhausting, right? But the reality is that it is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of our citizenship to continue showing the fuck up and doing the hard work. So please, 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 you can both rest and be a part of the resistance. You can both show up and take breaks. You can do the fucking most, right? But we have to pay attention because these wayward Republicans, Lord, they cannot regain power. They really can't, right? They will destroy everything. All right. Love you all. Until next week, power to the people and to all the people power. Get woke and stay woke as fuck.